Today I have a letter to America. Dear America, I pen this letter to you this day. I do not write this alone, for the echo of a great cloud of witnesses stand with me as I attempt to articulate a truth before this altar of a fractured democracy. This nation, this country many claim to love, is headed down a dangerous path. These yet-to-be United States of America is standing before a spiritual abyss politics is ill-equipped to handle. If we are not careful, it may take decades to recover from our primal human addiction to reject accountability. If our better angels do not prevail, our children's children will forever be injured by the foolishness and destructive behavior of today. The abyss we face is what Reinhold Niebuhr calls the demon of predatory self-interest, the proclivity of human beings and political entities to seek what is good for the very few instead of pushing for what is a blessing for all. Philosopher Rene Girard calls our current predicament mimetic violence, the idea that people, nations, political parties, organizations seek always to scapegoat others to blame for their societal pain and civic choices. The scapegoats are used by people in power to manipulate and rearrange society to benefit a small group, leaving the masses of people traumatized and broken in the rubble of the aftermath. America, we have the power to alter our future. We have the ability to choose moral courage over political cowardice. The question before us is, what nation do we desire to be? Is our goal to return to a mythic past that never was? Or do we have the moral imagination to conceive of a nation that is not yet but might be for generations yet to be born? Any nation that fails to confront the full brutality and beauty of her past shall forever be locked in a purgatory of brokenness unless we have the courage to bear witness. James Baldwin once said, "There is never time in the future in which we will work out our salvation. The challenge is in the moment. The time is now." I say to you today, now is the time to choose a path where future generations will offer thanks for the moral courage of this moment. Now is the time for a collective mosaic of this country's citizens to craft a civic cathedral that houses all persons across the diverse landscape of humanity. Now is the time for us to release the power of our moral imagination and paint a mural of a nation that is unfinished, but one day will be. Now is the time to be unafraid to speak truth to power, to unrepentant racists, narcissists, and materialists. Now is the time for musicians to craft new songs and symphonies that will be the soundtrack for liberation. Now is the time for activists to raise their voices and organize to amplify the needs of the marginalized. Now is the time for people of faith to elevate the liberating nature of the gospel and magnify the power of love and justice. Now is the time for communities to push back against cynical, fear-based political communication coming from all sectors of our civic discourse. Now is the time for artists to create poems, murals, and dance routines that will alter our language and shift our gaze from the waterfall of negative content possessing our psyche to the power of spiritual creation that will ignite our soul. Now is the time for prophets of literature and prose to be read in public spaces across the land. Now is the time for prayer warriors of every tradition to be freed to pray without ceasing. Now is the time for the Black church to claim her prophetic roots and join hands with women named Harriet, Joyner, Ida, Julia, Fanny, Ella, and Belle. Now is the time for all people with a moral compass, a spiritual center, and an ethical frame to stand up and dare join the construction of a yet-to-be nation. Now is the time to stand up and be a witness. Now is the time to stand up and be counted. If we choose to construct a new nation, the work will be hard. Forces of hate and deceit will rise. But if we dare stand as a people of conscience and faith, generations not yet born will offer thanks that we did not shrink in this moment, nor did we destroy their future. I say to you, America, I say to you, the church, Now is the time. Forward ever, backward never. Now is the time, and that's my 5 minutes.